When you were doing all of that, did you ever have a moment where you just kind of stopped and thought, "I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is my real life right now."
Parts of that 3-year journey was there is a National Park Service site that more people climb Mount Everest every year than visit this National Park Service site. It's actually the least visited Park Service site in the entire system. And to reach this National Park Service site, they recommend you have a week of waiting for like a 3-hour window because you need to have the weather be good enough in the town of King Salmon to take off in like a little seaplane. And so getting there is just, it takes an amount of time, perseverance, and luck. And I had only scheduled 5 days to reach Aniakchak as part of my whole 3-year journey where everything was scheduled down to the day. And on that 5th day, the weather was not good enough. And I was just like, oh my gosh, it's going to throw off months of plans. Like, I'm doomed. The pilot said, we can try to take off. We can try to make it happen. I can't guarantee anything. By the way, you have to pay us the $5,000 that it costs to rent this private plane, whether or not we make it into the park. And we ended up making it into the park. And the pilot, he landed in the park and he goes, "That's the first time I've ever done this." And we're all like, "Thanks for telling us after you landed."
Seeing that you've been through so many adventures, and especially having this epic adventure, and obviously you're continuing with your travels and with your adventures, how would you say the idea of adventure has evolved and changed?
I always felt like there was way more out there in the world than my hometown could offer. And so I sort of grew up with this like burning desire to just go everywhere and see everything and meet everyone. And I wanted to go to every location on the planet Earth and just experience everything. And sort of the older I get, uh, I'm a little more selective now with my adventures. For me, it's more about intention of where I'm going. Am I traveling for a music festival or for a conference? Like rather than saying I just want to check this country off my list or this state off my list, I try to pick an event that I know I'll really enjoy, or a convention where I know I'll meet people who have similar interests as me. And to me, that's kind of more exciting, building my adventures now around people and around hobbies and interests, as opposed to just wanting to say I physically covered every corner of the map.
I'm sure this, traveling to all 419 national parks was intimidating. What are some of the lessons that you've learned and some of the benefits that you've gained from pushing yourself?
What I love about travel is that it's really helped me overcome that sort of fear of the unknown or fear of others that I think we're just like evolutionarily made to have. Who are those people in the village next door? Do they want to attack us? Do they want to steal our crops? We're just naturally afraid of other cultures and other people. And so I think a great way to overcome that is to start small.
I'd say any newbie travel outdoors or anyone that's new to just national parks in general, are there any go-to tips that you have maybe regarding like gear or just practical tips that you have for people?
Yeah. So the number one piece of advice I give people when they're visiting a National Park Service site is so often you can drive into these parks. And so people drive up, they pay their entry fee or they show their parks pass, they get the map from the ranger, and they immediately drive to like the trailhead they've been thinking about, or to the location they've been wanting to go to. And I always say that's the absolutely wrong thing to do. The first thing you should do is go to the visitor center, because at every visitor center, they're either going to have a park ranger. So this is somebody who's paid, who like lives at the park, or they'll have a volunteer. So it's somebody who's like super passionate. Oftentimes it's retirees who just like love this park and give of their time. And I always go talk to them because number one, there's often trail closures, and you might drive 20 miles into the park, find out it's closed, and then you wasted an hour of driving. So I always talk to them to find out like today, what are the conditions? What are the things we need to know about? But then what I love to do is I will tell the volunteer or the parks ranger, these are the things that really interest me. Like for my mushroom hunting friends, I would say, hey, I love mushrooms. Are there any mushrooms in this park? And more often than not, whatever you're into, there's going to be some way to integrate that. And so rather than just saying, this is what I saw on TikTok, I have to go do this bucket list, checklist thing that everybody else and their dog has done. Think about the things that interest you. Tell the things that you like to do. Maybe you say, hey, I've got some mobility issues and I really like hikes that are 1 mile total, but I really like loop hikes instead of out and back. And these people are going to be able to basically design a custom itinerary for you on the spot. So these are experts who can craft you a bespoke custom vacation with a snap of a finger. So don't skip the visitor center and just go to what you think you need to go to. Always talk to the local experts.